rent free, rent free, rent free. Lives in your head rent free, rent free, rent free, rent free. Lives in your head rent free.
What's up, everybody? Boom. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech Supreme back with another episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is okay. And we are back with another episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Okay, making sure my mic's not moving on me. This is the first week of February. So yeah, January just flew by. Moving fast on us, and it is what it is. And we are already into the second month of the year, which means it's going to be my favorite time of the year in St. Louis is Mardi Gras season. So we're in the middle of Mardi Gras season. It started in the first or second week of January with 12th night. So yeah, we're getting ready to have the Mardi Gras Grand Parade at the 18th in 2 weeks, I think, about 2 weeks. And a bunch of events happening between now and then in St. Louis and in Soulard, which is, I don't live in Soulard anymore. I used to, but still one of my favorite neighborhoods in St. Louis. If you've never been to Mardi Gras, I advise going. It's a fun event. There's thousands of people just flooding the streets. It's just a good time. Now I haven't drank since Mexico in January 10th. And I don't plan on drinking until Mardi Gras, and I'm still on the fence if I'm even going to drink then, but it should still be a fun time. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, and Valentine's Day, of course. Me and my wife really aren't big Valentine's Day celebrators because we love each other every day. But, okay, if you do love Valentine's Day, that's coming up in 2 weeks. Get your plans together now. My homie Nate, he's going to Nippon Thai, which is this wonderful sushi restaurant. For Valentine's Day, him and his wife, which they have only been married for like a year or 2 years, I think, or like they just got past a year. So congratulations to them. That's random. I'm just being random. It's rent free, so anything that pops in my head is what we talk about. So here we go with that's not really topics, personal update. That's about it. Just been focusing on my health and working out as much as possible, hitting the gym as much as possible. I've been doing great ever since I stopped drinking. It's like casual drinks. 'Cause I've never felt like I had a problem, but I live next to one of the biggest drinking neighborhoods in St. Louis, so went there a lot. I just feel great about not having any alcohol in my system and counting all my calories and eating like a bodybuilder and actually using like the energy and the nutrients that I'm getting and taking it out in the gym and lifting heavier. It's been great. I haven't stepped on a scale, which is probably a good thing because I tend to get super obsessive over the numbers on the scale. So I'm not worried about that at all. I'm only worried about my food scale numbers. So as long as like my food intake is proper, I'm happy. So yeah, the calories have been getting counted and the water's been getting consumed, and I've been feeling good. I've been feeling great. Sleep has been perfect. I've been getting crazy amounts of sleep. I was floating around a couple weeks ago about LeBron James' sleeping habits, and he sleeps literally about 12 hours a day, which, we can't afford to do that because, we're not millionaires. But, he takes his health real seriously, and sleep is a huge part of it. And I feel like in my lifetime, I have even slacked on sleeping properly. So I'm super happy that I'm able to get good sleep. And a funny thing is that when you do consume alcohol, it doesn't even matter if it's a little bit, it destroys your sleeping. And people think like, oh, I'm just gonna take this glass of wine before I go to sleep, or I'm gonna do this whiskey before I go to sleep. It's gonna help me sleep. It doesn't. It disrupts your sleep. So health first, take care of your shit, take care of your body, your mind, and your teeth. Let's get into the topics. So a couple of days ago, I noticed, if you listen to the podcast, it's the St. Louis, I'm in St. Louis. I represent St. Louis. There was this post that was circulating about the top 20 all-time rappers from St. Louis. I don't even think I have it pulled up. Because I saw the list and I didn't really trip off of it. I'm gonna put it on the screen real quick. I didn't really trip off of it If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the screen. If you're just seeing a clip, you probably can't see it. Let's see something real quick. So a couple of days ago, they came out with the top 20 STL rappers ever list, and it's an interesting list. Okay, so you got Nelly at 1. I'm not going to go through like the ranking of it because I don't even know if it's really ranked or not, because Smino on this list is 17, and he probably should be a little bit higher. But there's Nelly, Saint Lunatics, T-Double, Tef Poe, Murphy Lee, Jew, Averb, Rockwell Knuckles, Keem, Three Problems, Bodine, JR, Hitman Holla, B Magic, Bates, Tiffany Fox, Smino, Taylor Made, Jaquan, and Big Boss Vet. Now, I don't know Big Boss Vet. I know she had a viral song, if I'm not mistaken, last year, that everyone on TikTok was rocking. And someone said, oh, they're from St. Louis. I had no idea. Now I don't really know B Magic either. And I'm a little bit too old for Three Problems, I feel like. But everyone else I know. Jew, I think it's Jew Czar. I'm not sure. I think that is him. I don't really know him well. But I know most of these people. I've never met Taylor Made. I've never met Jaquan or Smino. I've met Nelly once, and I've definitely met the Ticks. Of course, I produced for Tef Poe, so I know Tef Poe. Murphy Lee is a cool ass guy. I used to do graphics for Averb. We actually have the same tattoo, which is really weird. But that's what happens when you're young and you get tattoos off the wall at Black Pearl. Bodine's amazing. Hitman Hollers. I don't know. Never met him, but I know he's like dope. Tiffany Fox, she's dope. So the list went around and it drove people batshit crazy, right? Because most of the times you get these. St. Louis is one of those cities for some reason that's like real sensitive to lists and awards and recognition. People just want recognition, and I get that. Should you take these lists with a grain of salt? Absolutely. They're just lists. They're just someone's opinion, basically. And no one's more invalidated for not being on this list than someone who should be feeling validated for being on the list. Now, having said that, I saw the discourse, and I don't play St. Louis music politics anymore. So everyone thinks I fell off. That's fine. I just don't involve myself in the game. So yesterday, when I think it was yesterday, I was on the on Instagram, and I got this message from Ronnie Notch, which is a fellow producer. Now, I really like Ronnie Notch. He's a really stand-up guy. I've been to his house. He's invited me around his family. Super solid guy. Plus, and also, like, very like he spreads love. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing this thing called this Microsoft. I forget the name. I want to say Notes for Life. And he was like, "Hey, Tech, come through. Like, I need you to come and talk to these kids." Like, so he's like that type of guy. Like, well, he'll get an opportunity, and he'll spread it out. He's always been that way. And one of my favorite people is like how I kind of like got cool with him was DJ Epic. They were running the thing together. They're super cool guys, super great guys. So I was tagged in something, and he comments whole thing, thanks, whatever, thank you for this. So I didn't know what he was talking about because I didn't see the original tag. So I opened it, and it was the same person who did the top 20 rappers did the top 20 producers. So this was completely unbeknownst to me. I look on the list and I see my name on it, which is, like I said, it's just someone's opinion, but it's still an honor. It still makes you feel great. It makes you feel like you've done something. So here's the list right here, and just real quick, I'm gonna go over it. Now, I do know most of these people. I don't know a couple of them. Number one, I've never met Metro Boomin. Obviously, like he's the industry, like he's that guy, like he's him. So like, yeah, Metro Boomin's out of here, of course. DJ Chop Squad, number 3. I don't know him personally. We've been friends on Instagram and Facebook, but I've been watching his career, and it's been absolutely inspiring. So shout out to DJ Chop Squad. He has one of the best stories, like just his like life story, and he deserves every ounce of success he's gotten. I just be rooting from him from the depths of the shadows. Tarboy, number 2. I'm a big fan of Tarboy. Well, we're friends on Facebook, and when I was coming up, as far as like being a producer, he's one of my people that I idolized. Tarboy, and then before the Track Stars, those two guys. Tarboy was oh my god, what is the name of their Track Boys? Big fan of the Track Boys. They did a lot of Nelly stuff, a lot of St. Louis stuff. Like they're just they were just amazing. Tall Boys is amazing. Track Stars were with Chingy, so I was a big fan of them. Of course, you know, J.E. was like one of, I mean, if you're a producer in the modern rap era, J.E. is one of your idols. That's just what it is. Like Nelly, 10 Million, Country Grammar, like that whole era, insane. Chase the Money, that's a kid that I met through Doorway, and super cool guy, super talented producer. He's gone on to do huge things with I forgot the rapper's name, starts with a V. I'm horrible with remembering things. He's amazing. Jackpot Hits is amazing. He's done a lot of stuff with Rocky, who's another associate of mine, and they've done amazing work together, and he's an amazing producer. Coco's the homie. Fun story, when he did Shake Your Tail Feather, he was working at AT&T. I was working there at the same time in his call center, and he was the fuck up out of there. And that was real funny because they was like, hey, you know Jason, he makes beats, he sits over there, but I didn't really know him, and I'm not weird like that, but like, yeah, he just blew up, and I met him later on in life, and super cool guy. Trifecta is the homie. That is the definitely homie. He's so talented. Ronnie Notch, who I just talked about, he's on his, like, that's the one who commented, who got me on this. Brad Young, of course, I've known him. I don't really know him personally, but I know of him and his younger brother Vega. And then I met them through Orlando, who was like kind of like a mentor to me. So like, you know, I don't know who Seneca Kaysen is. I don't know who Jay France is. Black Spade is probably the most talented out of anyone I've ever met in my life, period. Tez Banger, he's super dope. And then little old me on there. Bo Willie, number 17, he's on there. Shout out to Bo Willie. I think he's in Cali right now. I hope he's doing well because he's super talented as well. Loudy, I don't think I've ever met Loudy, but I was also during the time that I was kind of super active in the scene. He was Major 88 Keys. I hear the name all the time. And T-Rex, I don't know who T-Rex is. So it was just really cool to be on this list, man. It's an honor to be considered one of the best producers in St. Louis. And I don't know who this is who made this, but you know, when I posted it, the comments were like, hell yeah, dude. Like, and it's so awesome. Some people who I've been working with for years with graphics, they're like, you produce? It's like, yeah, man, like that's fun story about that. I was doing graphic design for Pretty Willie. And so Nelly came out, and then Pretty Willie was basically a different label's answer. But he was super talented and super great, still is. And he moved on to gospel. Now he's P-Dub, and he doesn't, but I was a big fan. So when I was approached by his management to do graphics for him, it was an honor. And we did graphics for like a year together. I was doing graphics for them for a year. We were, texting. And one day he calls me and he says, yo, I just saw, this was like 2009 or 2009. He's like, I just saw that you were producer of the year for the Riverfront Times. And I really respect the fact that you've never told me that. Like, I respect the fact that we've been working together and you've never pushed your music onto me. You just kept it business. I appreciate that. And that was it. So I thought that was funny because, like, here I am, like this top producer in certain circles, and this guy who's like a national recording artist had no idea. So that reminds me of my homie now, who's one of my clients. But I mean, I like the kid. I've known him. I've been doing graphics for him since he started doing promotions, and he just messaged me yesterday. He's like, I didn't know you produce, bro. Like, you make beats, what? But yeah, dual identities, I guess. But thanks for the list. I appreciate that. It's an awesome just thing. So, moving on. Enough talking about producing and production and stuff. And I don't really like to. I don't really talk about that side as much. My friend Ben asked me the other day, he's like, "Hey, do you ever regret not pursuing music further?" I was like, "Dude, I did it for 20 years, and I still make music. I just don't put it out. So this year I'm gonna put music out. Yeah, and keep it moving." Now, this next story comes from Miami, and I'll just, with these websites, I fucking hate these websites. But with this story, I'll post the Miami mayor unveils Black History Month themed police cruiser. And this is about as dumb as it sounds. They're in Miami yesterday. They unveiled a Black History Month police cruiser. This is hands down. This is one of the most tone-deaf things I have ever seen in all of my years of existence. Can you imagine having to see this? behind you, pulling you over to harass you because you're black, and they got the black fist on the side of it, bro. With the cloth, bro. This is the worst. This I've never seen. I've never seen anything more tone deaf. This is I don't like. It's just like KKK members putting on like dashikis and putting holes in them for their eyes. Like this is insanely just out of fucking reach. Like what planet are you on, Miami? what Uncle Charlotte says, the most craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida. So here you go. I don't even know, how do you take this seriously if you're the car wrap company that does this? Like, how do you even take this seriously? Florida car wrap, you got some explaining to do as well. Like, you're in the hot seat too. There's nothing to say about this. Like, some of these, sometimes I'll pick a topic in which, like, oh yeah, I can riff on this. I can't riff on this. There's nothing to riff on. It's just dumb, big dumb. Miami police, big dumb energy. I don't know how you make that right. Like, you can't pull over black people this month. I don't know. That should be a thing. No, you got to pull over black people. Not some. Because people take that too far, and they look like St. Louis. St. Louis feels pretty lawless right now. But I digress. All right, moving on. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Speaking of Black History Month, I found this extremely corny. Let me know what you think. They decided to release Black Panther on February 1st. Now, first I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why are they doing it? Then it dawned on me they did it for Black History Month. Right on, I guess. I don't know. Like, why? Just release it when it's supposed to. It should have released a long time ago, but you can tell they held it for this moment or whatever. But like, it didn't need to be Black History Month. It didn't need to be February 1st. It could have been Christmas time. It should have been out in Christmas time, right? For DVD sales and shit like that. And I know my nephews kept coming over and like, hey man, when's Black Panther come out? Like, because it should have been out. They literally pushed it back just for Black History Month, and that's just some weird ass pandering. Like, that's not progressive. That's just, to me, bottlenecking it in. Like, I don't know. I get exhausted with Black History Month because I want, the people who need to benefit from Black History Month don't give a fuck about it, right? People who need to learn Black history and the people who need to learn to celebrate Black people, they don't give a fuck about Black History Month. So it's just them kind of beating a dead horse, which Black History Month is cool. I fucks with it, but like, nah though, like, I don't know. There gotta be a different way of celebrating Black people than just giving us the shortest month of the year, and then like all the companies going for the money grabs, because that's what it feels like. It feels like Black History money grab now. Like, it's just like Valentine's Day is a hustle for florists and chocolate and card makers, and I feel like Black History Month now is becoming a hustle of Black people. I don't never see Black people on Twitch front page until it's Black History Month. I never get these emails from Saks Fifth Avenue with Black people on it until Black History Month. And the reason I say that is because I literally just got it like an hour or so ago or some shit. Yeah, like 28 minutes ago, I just got this ad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's companies are leaning in on it so hard, and like even Walmart with the ice cream they did last year. Like, come on, man. Like, there's ways that you can celebrate this and bring awareness to Black people without like trying to make a dollar out of it instead of trying to make it a hustle. And it feels more like a hustle nowadays. Now, am I going to celebrate Black History Month? I celebrate Black history every single day. I got, it is what it is, but which is a saying that I end up saying a lot when I don't have anything to say about something. Like, it is what it is, because that is literally what it is. It's dumb, big dumb, but yeah, Black History Month and trying to like ram Black people for a month, like ram Black people down everyone's throats for a month. Like, how about you celebrate us all year, because we're amazing every single day of the year, all year, and you don't have to try to sell something in February that with Black people on it and call it inclusion. Like, let's not do that. Let's just get a little bit better, sponsor programs, give back to the community. But then you trying to sell your Black History Apple Watch. It's not really progressive, right? You get that, right? Whatever. Russell Westbrook got into a big fight with the homie Ben, which I mentioned earlier. Russell Westbrook ignored a fan. He was walking into a hotel, it looks like, and the fan was just like, "Hey Russell, hey Russell, I'm your biggest fan," and Russell just looked unbothered. And you know, I'm trying to pull up the video real quick. Let's see. Like, Russell, can you please sign my jersey? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you can see he's unbothered, and that is the proper reaction when you're a millionaire superstar athlete. You can't please everybody. Now on TikTok, I got into it with a lot of people about it. We were fighting in the comments, but it wasn't, anything disrespectful. But I feel like people will feel like if you're a celebrity of some sort, you're owed something. You're like, oh, that's what you signed up for. No, what I signed up for was what Russell Westbrook signed up for was to play basketball on an elite level. He didn't sign up to speak to every single person who wants to speak to him. No one should have to endure that. People in the gym don't have to endure that. Women who go anywhere in this world don't have to endure that. No one has to endure being demanded to speak to someone or demanded an action from someone just because you like what they do at their job. The movie stars are the same, musicians are the same. Doesn't even matter. When I was standing outside of standing inside of the pageant for Summer Jam, and this was during rehearsals, and celebrities were walking by. No one bothered them because they're human. They don't deserve to be yelled at or asked to do something. To the point we were ignoring everyone so much because we were just doing our jobs, minding our business. Nick Cannon walks by. He looks at us. We look at him and just keep talking amongst each other. And then he looks and says, "All right, y'all, see y'all later." And we're like, "All right," then we because they're used to people bothering them, and so when people don't bother them, it's weird for them sometimes. I think, I don't know, but my point is, Russell Westbrook or anyone else in this world is not obligated to speak to you. I think it's pretentious and white privilege to assume that an athlete is supposed to talk to you. To me, it seems like a lot of people I was talking to were white men who were saying like, "Oh, this is trash behavior." Like the fans made him who he is. Like, no, he made him who he is. He appreciates the fans. He does. He does charity work. And even that was when I brought that up to one of my associates on Instagram or Twitter. I brought it up. He was like, "Oh, that's just pandering. That's just for the cameras. We need to see him when you're not on." Like, no, first of all, he can't go anywhere in the United States of America, let alone the world, without being recognized. Russell Westbrook's distinct. He's a hell of a top 10 player. I think he's on the top 10 list all time for something this week. I think assist. Yeah, I can't really career assist, top 10 is not 10th all time. So yeah, he's international superstar. He doesn't have to carve out time for this random kid. And the thing that he does is, to me, it's giving off slave mentality energy. It's giving off shut up and dribble, you're here for me type of energy. There's something off about demanding a sports person to be at your beck and call when you see him in public. Like, still a grown man, still owes you nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's super weird energy. Let me know what you think. I've had my fill of comments on arguments about it, but seems to be a hot topic. Moving on. So it looks like Netflix is changing the way they do password sharing, which I don't care about, right? I have 5 profiles. I only use 3 of them. I have one, my wife has one, and my wife's mother has one. That's it. I don't no one else has my password. And one of my biggest flexes is that I've been on Netflix so long that my password is 4 characters. I'll say that. So that's how long I've had it. And the one thing that bothers me about these new rules, as I get it, sure, you don't want people to be able to log into other people's Netflix. So basically, you're using more than 5 profiles, I'm sure, in this case. And everyone has a shot at this Netflix thing. And you want to crack that down. Now, already, you're the number 1 streaming service revenue-wise. I'm pretty sure I can say that with confidence. the one thing I don't like about this move is that, like, if you have an account, it's automatically going to log you out every 3 days. Was it 3 days or every 10 days or something like that? So every few days is basically going to kick you out of your own Netflix, which means that you're like, if you go on a trip or you just don't look at Netflix for 10 days, you're going to have to replug in your passwords, which is going to be a pain in the ass. And I feel like people are going to, that's what's going to break Netflix. I feel like this, if there's ever a time in which they're going to lose, it's going to be now. So far they've been winning, but like now I feel like you're already number one. Why are you being this way? Like, why are you acting like you're getting robbed of money here? Like, you make billions. And I think what's going to happen is, and I saw a TikTok about it, and I can't credit whose TikTok it was because I can't remember, but they said what's going to happen is, you're going to have your wave of people leaving, your college students, your old people, like all the people who's like, oh, now it's just not convenient anymore. But then you're going to have people who's just going to like, oh, I have to log in to Netflix. I just want to watch, like, I just want something to watch. So, and I got to do all this. So, no, I'm going to go to Hulu, or I'm going to go to Prime Video. I'm going to do something else to fill this void of Netflix, of just watching something, because now it's too complicated. Like, now I don't want to get my phone. I don't want to open this app and do this authentication and do this every single time, like if I don't watch it consistently enough. And then that's going to lead to people just dropping the subscription altogether. I personally don't watch Netflix hardly ever. My wife does. So I'm definitely going to have to put in my password a lot if I want to watch something on Netflix. And that's going to be annoying. I don't think it's a great move, and I don't think it's going to end well for the company. They're going to either have to back out of it once they see people start dropping, or something's going to have to give. We'll see what happens. And to the last topic, Mr. Beast. If you don't know who Mr. Beast is, like I don't really know who Mr. Beast is. I don't know why he's rich and famous, but he is rich and famous, Jimmy Donaldson. I don't know how he got his money, but let's just know he's like one of the biggest people on YouTube. I think he has 20 something million on YouTube and maybe 3 or 5 million on TikTok. But he did this thing that got on my radar. Was he cured blindness in over 1,000 people? He paid for their surgeries. Apparently, over the majority of people who are blind in America are blind because they cannot afford a 10-minute surgery. And Mr. Beast fronted the money for 1,000 people to get this 10-minute surgery, which is absolutely, positively, insanely incredible. What bothers me is the fact that America touts itself as one of the best countries in the world, and you have nearly half the population of people who are blind in America are blind because of money. That's so bad and sad and disgusting, that you have a YouTuber doing more than politicians, than corporations. What is stopping? 131 million subscribers on YouTube. What is stopping Jeff Bezos or a company from doing this, right? Instead of I don't know. I just, hats off to Mr. Beast, and to tie it into how good a person Mr. Beast is, he's teamed up with Keith Lee, who's probably like right now TikTok's golden child of just being a good person. I love Keith Lee. I started following Keith Lee before he became this national thing. The algorithm was behind him. So I saw Keith Lee's videos a long time ago, and I've been a fan ever since. I was talking about him to my wife. And him and Mr. Beast is one of his favorites and his wife's favorites and sister's favorites. They teamed up to help restaurants who are struggling in Vegas. They picked one and gave him $10,000, and it's just a feel good story. And Mr. Beast, I think he got a fan out of me out of this, man. Like, he's really solved blindness for 1,000 people. Like, that's insane, bro. I'm not an optometrist, so I don't know the science behind it, but like, he had optometrists on the video where I saw clips of, and he's like, yeah, there's literally a 10-minute surgery that can fix your blindness if you have it. And it kind of hits home for me because I have a client who, Blind City, Langford Cunningham, who's an amazing person, and he's blind, and just that maybe if the healthcare system wasn't so fucked, that could have been avoided. You know, it is what it is. All right, well, that's kind of the episode. Little rough. We talked about producing music and Black History Month, police vehicles, and Russell Westbrook. It's been a spicy, little quick podcast episode. I do want to say thank you for everyone who's been checking it out. I look at the numbers a lot more lately, and the numbers are respectable. And I'm really, really happy that people are listening, checking it out, and spreading the word and commenting. If you comment, that gets my engagement up. So definitely need that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I got today. So thank you for listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme. I will see you guys on the next one. Be safe, and yeah, peace.
Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.